So, good morning, class. So, yesterday we have started uh, the topic that is plant breeding. Okay, and we have also started uh, the steps of a breeding. Okay, up to third point we have started. So, this plant breeding is a very time consuming process, and it is very tedious process, though this will have a certain merit, but as well as this will also be consisting of certain limitation, that is a demerit. Okay, and that is a very time consuming and tedious process. एकदमै टाइम लाग्छ र एकदमै यो चाहिँ के हो हार्ड वर्किङ प्रोसेस हो. द हाइब्रिड्स मे नट कम समटाइम्स द हाइब्रिड जुन हामीले हाइब्रिड गरेको थियौँ के क्रस हाइब्रिडाइजेसन्स अमङ द सेलेक्टेड प्यारेन्ट्स, सो जसमा चाहिँ के हुँदैन विल नट कम्बाइन द डिजायरेबल क्यारेक्टर्स नै कम्बाइन हुन्छ भन्ने हुँदैन. ओके, ओन्ली usually only 1 in few hundred to 1,000 crosses, 1,000 crosses मा चाहिँ okay among 1,000 crosses मा एउटा मात्रै चाहिँ desirable, only one, there will be the chances of containing only one, there will be the desirable combinations हुने chances हुन्छ. So this is the main limitations. Okay, so fourth, let's see onto these limitations. To overcome these limitations, let's see the point 4, that is selection and testing of superior recombinants. That means in this, okay, these steps will consist of selecting first of all among the progeny of the hybrids and those plants that have the desired character combinations, and that the selection process of the crucial to the success of the breeding objective and requires careful scientific evaluations of the progeny. So first of all, these steps will consisting of that the selections among the progeny of the hybrid. जो हाइब्रिड थियो त्यसको प्रोजेनीको बिचमा पनि सेलेक्ट हुन्छ ओन्ली डिजायर्ड क्यारेक्टर्स, जसको क्यारेक्टर इज भेरी डिजायर्ड. ओके, त्यो क्यारेक्टरलाई मात्रै फर्स्ट सेलेक्ट गर्छ, and that selection is a very crucial process. Okay, and after that selection there will be the success of the breeding objectives should be there, and it will require a very scientific evaluations of the progeny. That means progeny चाहिँ जुन पायो त्यही सेलेक्ट गर्दैन. आफ्टर ए सर्टेन साइन्टिफिक इभ्यालुएसन, साइन्टिफिक अप्रोच, ओके, that the desirable progeny from the hybrids will be selected. After that, the selected hybrid progeny should be able to yield plants that are superior to the both of the parents. दुईटै प्यारेन्ट्सको चाहिँ सुपेरियर के लेखेको हुनु पर्यो, क्यारेक्टर्स लेखेको हुनु पर्यो. द्याट मिन्स एउटा प्यारेन्ट 1 एन्ड प्यारेन्ट 2 लाई जब कम्बिनेसन्स गर्छ र जब अफस्प्रिङ 3 बनिन्छ, दिस अफस्प्रिङ शुड, दिस प्रोजेनी शुड have the most superior character from the parent 1 and also should contain the superior character from the parent 2. That means progeny जुन चाहिँ एउटा अफस्प्रिङमा चाहिँ प्यारेन्ट 1 र प्यारेन्ट 2 बोथ अफ द प्यारेन्ट्सबाट एकदमै राम्रो क्यारेक्टर, सुपिरियर डिजायरेबल क्यारेक्टर्स चाहिँ उसले कन्टेन गरेको हुनुपर्छ इन द यिल्ड. ओके, एन्ड दिस प्रोजेनी इज नोन एज हाइब्रिड विगोर एन्ड इट इज अल्सो समटाइम्स नोन एज हेटेरोसिस. ओके, हेटेरोसिस और हाइब्रिड विगोर भनेको चाहिँ इट इज ए plant that are superior to the both of the parents. दुईटै प्यारेन्ट्सको चाहिँ superior characters contain गरेको हुन्छ. Okay, so next is this is our self-polling. Now these heterosis and hybrid vigor will be self-pollinated. Okay, for several generations, for generation 1, generation 2, generation 3 and so on, त्यसरी successive generation सम्मको लागि के गरिबस्छ, self pollination गर्छ. Self pollination means the transfer of pollen grains from the anther of the of a same plant to flower to the stigma of the same okay flower. So that is the self pollination, and till this will conduct it till they will reach the state of uniformity. Okay, that is homozygosity. That means the same characters will be displayed in a successive generations. That means uniformity. okay, to form a pure line so that characters will not segregate in the future progeny. यसमा पनि सेम क्यारेक्टर आओस् फर्स्ट जेनेरेसनमा सेकेन्ड जेनेरेसनमा पनि त्यही क्यारेक्टर डिस्प्ले हुन्छ थर्ड जेनेरेसनमा त्यही क्यारेक्टर डिस्प्ले हुन्छ र यसरी चाहिँ किन होमोजाइगोसिटी युनिफर्मिटी चाहिँ मेन्टेन गरेको भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ फ्युचर प्रोजेनी कमिङ प्रोजेनी 5 ओके 4 5 6 मा जुन चाहिँ एउटा क्यारेक्टर्सहरू सेग्रिगेट नहोस् भनेर okay, so to maintain that the character in the upcoming generations, okay, that uniformity will be maintained. And next is the testing, release and commercializations of new cultivars. Now after that the newly selected lines अब के भयो newly selected lines are evaluated for their yield and other agronomic traits for quality, disease and resistance. अब के हुँदैछ certain successive generations को लागि चाहिँ त्यो क्यारेक्टर्सहरुलाई रिटेन गरिसकेपछि चाहिँ एउटा newly selected lines लाई चाहिँ select गर्छ के certain hybrids line and then that will be evaluated for the yielding of the other agronomic traits अरु traits हरुलाई पनि developed गर्नुको लागि चाहिँ त्यो particular yields लाई select गर्छ and that traits चाहिँ कस्तो हुनु पर्यो character traits means characters should have a good quality of yielding property and that plant should be disease resistant. Okay, and this is done by growing in a research field and recording their performance under ideal fertilizer applications, irrigations and other crop management practices. अब quality र disease resistance चाहिँ कसरी बनाउने भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ this will conducted in certain elaborate research field मा मात्रै हुन्छ. Okay, first of all the research for the crops will be done. त्यहाँनिर के हेरिन्छ त्यो crops को performance हेरिन्छ कि एउटा certain fertilizers apply गरेर चाहिँ irrigations पनि apply गर्छ. त्यसको बादमा चाहिँ what will be the productions, how much the yielding will be there, how much the plant will be able to fight against the disease, so how much the plant will be disease resistant. Okay, that will be measured in the research field itself. Okay, र त्यसको बादमा चाहिँ the evaluation is followed by testing the material in farmers field. अब यो materialsहरुलाई चाहिँ कहाँ टेस्ट गर्यो already in the farmers field for at least 3 growing seasons at several locations in the country representing all the agroclimatic zones. ओके के गर्छ भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ त्यसको बादमा मटेरियल्सहरुलाई चाहिँ फार्मर्सहरुकै फिल्डमा चाहिँ फर ग्रोइङ सिजन्सको लागि सेभरल लोकेशन्समा नट ओन्ली इन अ सिंगल लोकेशन बट several locations को countryमा चाहिँ different areasहरुमा चाहिँ different agroclimatic zones in the temperate in the tropical areasहरुमा okay different climatic zonesहरुमा चाहिँ त्यसलाई टेस्ट गर्छ कि यो जुन चाहिँ हाइब्रिड छ यो चाहिँ कि गरम जग्गामा मात्रै हुन्छ के ट्रपिकल एरियामा मात्रै हुने हो कि पोलर एरियामा चिसो भन्दा चिसो जग्गामा पनि हुन सक्छ कि अथवा टेम्परेट मोडरेट एरियामा पनि हुन सक्छ कि डिफरेंट क्लाइमेटिक जोनमा अब यसलाई टेस्ट गर्छ. Okay, and this material is evaluated in comparison to the best available local crop cultivator or check reference cultivator. अब के गर्छ भने चाहिँ now this will be comparison of the local crop हरुको के हुँदै जान्छ अब comparison हुँदै जान्छ. Okay, and this variety is tested, selected and certified and released in a new variety. त्यसको बादमा मध्ये चाहिँ अब among the different agroclimatic zoneहरुमा compare गर्छ. ओके के भयो चिसो जग्गामा पनि भयो मोडरेट एरियामा पनि भयो हट एरियामा पनि भयो. that means कुनै पनि एरियामा प्रब्लम छैन यो क्रपको लागि. anywhere this crop can be grown, this crop will show the high yielding properties and this crop will have the disease resistant property. यो सबै एरिया डिफरेंट क्लाइमेटिक जोन्समा यो क्यारेक्टर्सहरु देखाइसकेपछि मात्रै that variety लाई चाहिँ के गर्छ अब सर्टिफाइड गर्छ कि yes that variety is a new variety and this is high yielding properties, disease resistance different climatic stressहरुलाई पनि टलरेट गर्न सक्छ भनेर चाहिँ सर्टिफाइड गर्छ अनि मात्रै नयाँ varieties आउँछ. Okay, so there are certain types of some Indian hybrid crops. Okay, that is wheat and rice. We know that our country, India, is mainly an agricultural country, right? Our country where the agriculture will happens. Okay, and this agriculture accounts for approximately 33% of India's GDP and employs nearly 62% of the populations. भन्नुको मतलब इन्डियाको GDP टोटल GDPमा चाहिँ 33% चाहिँ हाम्रो एग्रिकल्चरले कन्ट्रिब्युट गरिराखेको छ र हाम्रो इन्डियाको होल पपुलेसन्समा चाहिँ 62% अफ पपुलेसन्स हेज बिन इन्गेज्ड इन द एग्रिकल्चर र उनीहरू चाहिँ एग्रिकल्चरपट्टि इम्प्लोइज छ. Okay, so after independence, our country have faced certain challenges. Okay, so where there will be the large number of the increasing populations, but there were the lack of the shortage of the food productions. त्यसको लागि चाहिँ हाम्रो इन्डियाले के गर्नु पर्यो, certain measuresहरू अपनाउनु पर्यो so that यो increasing populations लाई चाहिँ in a certain period of time मा food productions चाहिँ सबैलाई provide गर्नु पर्यो भनेर चाहिँ एउटा challenges आयो हाम्रो countryमा. Okay, and after that, as only limited land for fit for cultivations, अर्को challenge चाहिँ के आयो भने land is very limited. बेसी land छैन, population चाहिँ फेरि बेसी छ. So त्यो बेसी populations लाई चाहिँ कम्ती land मा नै cultivation गरेर चाहिँ food provide गर्नु पर्ने भयो. Okay, that is the problem, that is the challenge आयो. So त्यसको लागि चाहिँ के भयो, एउटा certain measures आयो. Okay, that is the green revolutions. We have already studied this green revolution, right? After there was the development of high yielding varieties of wheat and rice in the mid 1960s. Okay, through plant breeding techniques has increased food productions in our country. So this phase is known as green revolution. So हाम्रो challenges के थियो, there were two challenges कि higher increasing populations, we have to provide the food material to the increasing populations as per their need and the demand. So अर्को challenge के थियो, there were unlimited area, land बेसी छैन, cultivation बेसी गर्नु पर्यो. So यो बीचमा चाहिँ एउटा green revolution एउटा टेक्निक आयो, plant breeding technique in 1960s मा. So जसले चाहिँ के गर्यो, varieties of like crops has been developed such as wheat, rice, जसको के भयो tremendously the production के भयो enlarged भएर गयो, increased भएर गयो. Okay, so during the period of 1960s देखि लिएर 2000 बीचमा wheat production has been increased from 11 million tons to 75 million tons. So you can see the dramatic increase in the production of the wheat from 11 million देखि लिएर 75 million tons मा के भयो, increased भएर गयो. Whereas in case of the rice, the production has been went up from 35 million tons to 89.5 million tons. So यहाँ पनि rice को production एकदमै बढेर गयो. Okay. So Nobel laureate Norman A. Borlaug, we already know that he is the father of the Green Revolution. Okay. So in International Center for Weight and Meat Improvement, Mexico have developed semi-dwarf wheat in 1963. High yielding and disease resistant varieties such as Sonalika and Calensona were introduced all over the wheat growing belt of India. 1963 मा चाहिँ के भयो, एउटा we already know the Nobel laureate Norman A. Borlaug ले चाहिँ के थियो, मेक्सिकोमा International Center for Weight and Meat Improvement बाट चाहिँ के गर्यो, certain varieties-हरु, disease resistant varieties-हरु र high yielding varieties in the year 1963 मा के गर्यो, wheat को एउटा variety बनायो. That wheat was semi dwarf, that means the height of the wheat was not too much and the height is not too much short, that means semi dwarf मात्रै थियो. Okay, so that variety के थियो, दुईटा variety, that is Sonalika र Calensona, अनि यो चाहिँ all over the India को belt मा के गर्यो, that means in the coastal areas जहाँ चाहिँ agriculture हुन्छ त्यहाँनिर introduced गर्यो all over the India. Okay, so after that production of the Sonalika and this Kalyan Sona has been introduced or increased. You can see that this is the hybrid maize and wheat, okay, and a garden hybrid peas. Okay, and we were talking about these semi-dwarf rice varieties were derived from IRD, developed at International Rice Research Institute, IRI Philippines and Taichung native, one from Taiwan. र जुन चाहिँ यो सेमी ड्वार्फ राइस भेराइटिज चाहिँ कहाँबाट डिराइभ गर्यो भने IR8, and that has been developed in the International Rice Research Institute of the Philippines, Taichung, and native one from Taiwan. Okay, so better yielding semi-dwarf varieties, that is Jaya, Ratna and Ratna, were developed in India. So after that, India have also developed certain varieties, semi-dwarf varieties of the wheat, that is Jaya and Ratna in India. Okay, that has to be remember. Our India have also developed certain better yielding semi-dwarf varieties of, that is Jaya and Ratna. Okay, you can see the hybrid rice, and this is the hybrid garden peas where the yielding is very high, and this is the hybrid wheat. Okay, so next is sugar cane, and next is sugar cane, Saccharum barberi. Okay, the sugar cane is Saccharum barberi. This Saccharum barberi is grown in North India as poor sugar content and yield. North India ma mattrai this variety, यो species barberi species is only grown in the North India. र यसको चाहिँ के छ, sugar content चाहिँ कम्ती छ. Okay, sugar cane will have a sugar content र एकदमै कम्ती sugar भएको sugar cane हो, but the yielding is very high. Another type of species that is Saccharin officinarum. Next is a Saccharin officinarum has been crossed with the Saccharum barberi. Okay, after that, this was specially grown in the South India, and the hybrid between these two will possess a thick stems and higher content, but doesn't grow well in North India. नर्थ इन्डियामा चाहिँ के भयो, खाली Saccharum barberi मात्रै राम्रोसँग ग्रो भयो र उसको यिल्डिङ प्रपर्टिज पनि हाई छ. र अब यो दुईटालाई के गर्यो, कम्बाइन गरेर क्रस्ट गरेर चाहिँ के साउथ इन्डियामा जब ग्रो गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ एकदमै थिकर स्टिम्स र हाई कन्टेन्ट भयो, तर द्याट वाज नोट वेल ग्रोन इन नर्थ इन्डिया. यु क्यान सी द सुगर केन भेराइटिज अफ सुगर केन. So last is the millets. So hybrid maize, Johar. Okay, this is Johar and Bajra developed in India. Okay, it includes high yielding varieties to water stress. So this will be also like grown in the areas where there will be the less amount of the water. That means this variety will have a tolerance as regard to this low water consistency. Okay, this is hybrid Jowar, and this is hybrid Vajra. And you can see that this is hybrid maize.